Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to the annual Friends and Family Show put on by the Society of American Magicians Williamsburg chapter. And tonight we are giving this in sponsor. We are sponsoring the Williamsburg House of Mercy. So please, if you like what you see tonight, give a donation to the Williamsburg House of Mercy. We've tried to make that easy for you. If you go to the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat button. Click on the chat button. It'll take you to the chat area where there's a link, which takes you to a place where you can give a donation. So remember those less fortunate in these times of pandemic. We have a great performance for you tonight, and it's a mixed performance in that we have some of our performers that have come in by video and others who are live here in the studio. And we've done that so that we can reduce the number of people in the studio for the purposes of the pandemic, but also give you the feel of a live performance. We perform this every year, first to kick off the Halloween weekend, to honor the most famous magician of all time, Harry Houdini, who died on Thanksgiving, or excuse me, on Halloween in 1926, and to sponsor the House of Mercy. I'm Steve Maines. I'll be your MC for this evening. And when they asked me to be MC, I said, well, what do you need to do? And they said, all we need you to do is introduce all of the acts. I said, okay, well, that's easy enough. And they said, but you ought to have an opener. And I said, an opener, what do you mean? And they said, an opening trick, something to kind of, kick things off. And I said, okay. And ladies and gentlemen, here is my opener. And if you look, you can see that it's a Houdini opener. But what good is an opener if there's nothing to open? So I've got a classic right here. And you'll hear that throughout the evening tonight about classics. This is live TV. You'll hear this about classics this evening. And we'll start off with two classics from Watt Heyer, who's one of our professional magicians. Take it away, Watt.
Hello, everybody. My name's Watt Heyer. I want to thank you for coming and watching our Friends and Family show tonight. Because, we're being asked to watch an awful lot these days that, quite frankly, is pretty hard to swallow, isn't it? Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to tell you that I have 3 ropes here, all the same length. But you know better than that. You can look down here and see they're not all the same length. But I'm going to fix that. Just like this. All 3 ropes are the same length. You say, you're smarter than that. You can tell. No matter how even they are on one end, on the other they're not. Down here, we still have this shorty, we still have this medium, and we still have this long piece. We can get them straight up here, and down here, they're still different. But I'm going to change that and fix that too, just like this. So now we have them the same on both ends. But I'm seeing you have doubts. You say, what about the middle? What about the middle? I don't know. All I know is I have 1, 2, 3 ropes, the same length. But you all are smarter than that. You know that no matter how even and fair everything looks, we still have a shorty, a medium, and a long. Thank you very much. Keep your eye on our show.
Well, thank you very much, Watt. We really appreciate that performance. And if you appreciate that performance, I'd like to ask you to react in one of three ways. You may not have been on a Zoom show before. You can always applaud just like this. Make sure that your hands are up nice and high so that we can see it in frame. You could also give the American Sign Language symbol for applause, just like that, okay? Just shake your hands back and forth. Or if you look down next to the chat button that we talked about earlier, there's a reaction button, and you can click on those reactions. You can clap, you can give a thumbs up, you can set off fireworks. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So please do react. This is not television. This is interactive theater. Now I'd like to introduce one of our magicians that's been a fixture on the peninsula for a long time. He once owned a magic place, which was a magic shop in Newport News that some of the magicians that you'll see tonight actually got their start. And he also hosted some magicians who performed at Busch Gardens like Harry Blackstone Jr. So without further ado, please welcome the amazing Mr. A.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you. I am Mr. A, and it is my privilege here tonight to represent a great manufacturer of product that is revolutionizing the American home. They claim that it's even better than sliced bread. The product, ladies and gentlemen, is magic glue. Magic glue. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please come closer, separate up. You big people, let the little people through. That's good, because the closer you are, the closer you are. Magic glue. That's M for making money on it, A for all we can get, grabbing it while we can, and IC, I'm on commission. Now, I've asked this gentleman here to help me. Can you step up here, please, gentlemen? Thank you, sir. Would you stand here with your right side with your feet close to the floor, please? Thank you very much. Now, I understand your name is mainly Steve. It doesn't have, it's not the whole name. It's just mainly Steve.
Mainly Steve.
Okay, well, can I call you Steve?
Steve.
All right, that's great. I guess you're the main man at work and at home, aren't you? Just a little joke, Steve, but there's no joking about magic glue. Now, the company has provided me with a prototype of the device to allow you to see how the rope can be cut and restored with magic glue. All right. Now, you're going to help me, right? Have you ever helped a pitch committee before?
Nope.
Well, this would be a first thing for you right here. Okay. Are you a little nervous?
A little bit.
Okay, well, okay, that's okay. Now, I want you to check this knife right here. Make sure it's good and sharp. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that'll keep you on the cutting edge, Steve. A little joke, but there's no joking about magic glue. Now, I want you to know that there was no expense spared in providing this prototype with the magic tonight to show you magic glue. Can you grab that from me, Jackie, please? Thank you. All right, appreciate it. All right. Would you believe they spent $50,000 for this prototype, Steve?
Wow. Okay. No, I can't believe that.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Would you believe $25,000?
I don't think so.
No. How about $1,000?
No.
No. Okay. How about $19.95 for shipping and handling? Okay, that's good. All right.
Okay.
Well, let me show you now. They're used as a piece of ordinary rope. In fact, it arrived from Amazon this morning in a box from the Ordinary Rope Company. Now, I want just a little joke, Steve, but there's no joking about magic glue. Thank you, folks. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick with this rope. Okay. Now, this is amazing, Steve. When you're here close up, you can tell them that it's not a fake. I'm going to let go, and the rope will remain straight. Are we ready, Steve?
We're ready.
There we go, right there. Okay, just a little joke, Steve. There's no joking about
magic glue.
Okay, now we're going to take the rope and we're going to place it. Now, this device right here is actually designed to shift sideways, and you'll see in just a moment why. Steve, I want you to go ahead and put that. I'll tell you, it's finally giving up the ghost here, I think. Okay, I want you to go ahead and put that rope into the magic prototype here. There we go. Okay, run it all the way through. Okay, very, very good. This exciting?
Okay, exciting.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Now, Steve, I want you to take this knife. Now, you ladies out in the audience will probably recognize this because this is the knife that I gave away for free when they did the knife demonstrations at your favorite department store. So, Steve, I'd like you to take that and very carefully insert it into the little slit that's there and see if you can go ahead and cut that rope. All right, watch it. Watch your fingers now. Okay, Steve, I think you've done it.
Okay.
I think you've done it very much.
Don't worry
Okay.
about my fingers.
Well, thank you. Now we'll shift that away, and lo and behold, look, we have the rope cut in half, In fact, you can see the little pieces there. I would tilt it forward more, but I don't want them to fall out. Okay? Now, here's the best part of all. Let's close it back together again and take the magic glue. It's so easy. No one's screwing it, no squeezing it, no touching it. You just wave it over the rope. And lo and behold, it becomes whole again. Steve, pull that rope out. All right, now wait for the applause. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve, for helping me demonstrate magic glue. Now, be sure to get this at your local store, because when you do, you'll stick with it. Just a little joke, Steve, but I'm not joking about magic glue. Don't buy the brand X, because you'll get stuck. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. You did a great job.
Well, thank you, Mr. A. And we have him here in the studio with us. Please take it away.
Wow, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. It took me a couple of minutes to go ahead and change my clothes and shave, but here I am. All right. Steve, I'd like to do something a little special for you, and if you will, I'd like you to hang around and help me.
Okay.
Could you do that, please?
I
Okay,
can.
very much. In that last tape we saw, you were beautiful. You were a wonderful assistant. And I was thinking to ask you, what size dress do you wear? No, that's okay. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to do a trick with a deck of cards. Now, this is a very special deck of cards in that it was given to me by one of the great magicians in actually the Tidewater, Virginia area. His name is Roger Sherman. Now, Roger did the trick at one of the magic meetings. It was so good, he blew everybody away. And he impressed me greatly to where he said, well, Henry, look, you liked it so much. Let me give you the deck of cards as a souvenir. And I said, oh, that's great. And this is the very deck that I'm using tonight. Okay. Now, I'm going to remove the Joker because one on the stage is enough. But what I'm going to do is predict your future. I'm going to predict the next few minutes of your life. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a prediction. And in the interest of time and space here, I'm going to use a magic marker to write on the playing card.
Okay.
Magic marker, Steve. Okay, very good.
Magic show.
That's right. Now, let me write it in. Okay. You know, I love these things. Don't you love the smell of those things, Steve? I'll tell you what's that great. Okay, very good. Now, all right. So I don't be accused of any sleight of hand. I'm going to take and throw that in the hat. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't empty it out from the last show. There's a hair still in it. There it is right there. Okay, now, what we're going to do, Steve, is let me turn so the audience can actually see this a little bit easier. Let me get you to stop me at one of the cards here.
Stop.
Okay, is this good or is this one right here?
This one right
This
here.
one right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that card without you seeing it or anyone else seeing it and put it into the hat. All right.
Okay.
Now, what have we done? Well, we've introduced a deck of cards, but by the way, that night, Roger came up to me and he says, Henry, I want to tell you this because you really like this trick. He said, I used a special deck. And I said, a special deck? You know, he says, yeah, it's my summer deck. And I said, well, Roger, summer decks? So he fanned the cards and pointed to them and said, you see, some are black and some are red. Thank you, Roger, wherever you are out there. I appreciate it. So
Yeah,
what have we
thanks,
done?
Roger. Thanks.
Thank you. What have we done? We have made a prediction on a playing card. And so I'm not accused of any sleight of hand. I'm going to use the prediction card to hand you the card that was picked. Now take that, but hold it close to your chest. Don't show it to anybody else. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now,
Can I look?
no,
Oh, okay.
we have to build up the suspense for the studio audience and the people out there in television land. Okay. Now, the card that I used to write the prediction on was the 5 of spades. And I wrote it kind of quickly, but what does it say there, Steve?
6 of clubs.
6 of clubs. Yeah, 6 of C.
Yeah, 6 of
clubs.
C,
Okay.
6 of clubs.
6 of clubs was my prediction. Now, Steve, may we have a drum roll, please? Reveal the card that you picked.
The card is the 6 of clubs.
It's a miracle.
Well, it's very important at this time of year to understand or to find out who the monsters are around, because the monsters are going to come out in just 2 more nights. So what I'd like is for everybody at home to stand up right where you are. And we're going to do a test to determine who the monsters are. All right. So is everybody standing? I want you to put your hands out in front of you, just like this, palms towards each other, thumbs pointed towards the ceiling. And I want you to turn your thumbs to the floor. So now you have the backs of your hands facing each other and you have your thumbs pointing towards the floor. Take your right hand. Now I can see you on Zoom, your right hand, and put it over your left. Interlace your fingers now that your thumbs are down at the bottom. Okay, now I can see a lot of the people are trying to put their left hand over their right. No, what you want to do is put your right hand over your left, because this is a test. And if you're not able to do this, you very well could be a monster. So on the count of 3, I want you to turn your thumbs all the way around, your hands all the way around 360 degrees. If you can't do it, I think you're a monster. So 1, 2, 3, all the way around. Okay, could you do it? And most important, did you look at the people around you? Could they do it? Because you want to know who the monsters are. Well, I talked about classics of magic and people who had started at the magic place. And one of those is Harold Wood, who has got a classic of magic that he's going to perform for you right now. Harold, take it away.
Hello there, Harold Wood here. I had a chance to visit Colonial Williamsburg. I went to the hysterical section and I met the silversmith. He made this for me. Do you know what it is? That's right, it's a cup. And there was a little game they used to play in the colonial days. They would use a cup and they would use a sweater. My grandmother crocheted the sweater for me. She did too. Here it is. As you can see, Grandma's not into long-term projects. Here's how the game's played. I hide the ball, and you have to guess where it is. If you guess correctly, you get a point. If you guess incorrectly, I get a point. Are you ready? Round 1, here we go. Aha, not as easy as you thought. Where do you want to guess? Over here, or in the center? I see some of you guessed over here. Wrong. See, some of you guessed over here. Wrong. But a good 30% of you were right on the money. So the score for those is 1 for you, 0 for me. I'm going to have to catch up. I'll take the ball and place it in my pocket. Did you see me place it in my pocket? Some people miss that part. I'll go slow. Now you can guess in my pocket or underneath the cup. That's in my pocket or underneath the cup. Do you want to guess in my pocket or underneath the cup? That's in my pocket, underneath the cup. Where do you want to guess? The cup? That would have been good. I mean, if I could make it appear underneath the cup, would you have been impressed? I think that's 1 for me. All right, we've got a tie game going into the tiebreaker here. You know what? I feel bad. You guys are doing such an excellent job tuning into our show. I have to tell you the truth. I cheated. Here's what's really happening. I take the ball, and when I take it out of the cup, I truly put it in my pocket, but I hold it in what we magicians call the magic 2-finger position. So it's like this in my pocket, just like that. And I wait to see where you guess. If you guess the cup, I say no, because it's not there. But if you guess the pocket, I push it down deep. It goes through the lining in a little hole right there and comes right back underneath the cup, just like that. Now that you know how it's played, we can try it again. Are you ready? I tell you what, I'll give you 2 guesses, because I like you. Oh, under the cup, very good. What's your second guess? Oh, in my pocket. Well, you got me now. Let me check here. Not in the pocket. Let me check the cup. Oh, no, it's a golf ball. I tell you what, I'm ahead, so I want you to catch up. So we'll play double or nothing on the next round. Does the ball, this ball, fit under the cup? That's that one there. Choose now. Do, 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 do. Let's check. No, it doesn't fit. Of course it does if you take the other one out. I wanted you to catch up, just like that. Harold Wood, thank you very much.
Thank you, Harold. I appreciate that. Now, people always like to talk about money. And one of the things that they talk about is keeping their money safe. And if you have a pocket or if you have a wallet, you can do that. Or if you just have a handkerchief, you could make that handkerchief into a little bag, and you could take your coin then and place it in the bag. Now, you know that it's in the bag because you saw me drop it in there. I could take this glass and you can hear it in there, or you saw the heft of it, and so you know that it's in there, but just as quickly, it's gone. Now, they say a fool and his money is soon parted, but just as quickly, that money can return just like that. But if he's a fool, he will be parted, and that money will disappear. Now, I've also brought a slate, and maybe some of you had a slate like this when you were a kid in school. And I brought a magic die, or an invisible die. And so I'll ask our technician, Peter, can you pick a volunteer and unmute them? Because I want you to roll this die for me. Yeah, can you raise somebody who, can I get a volunteer to raise your hand or wave at the screen so we can see you?
Hunter.
Hunter, are you unmuted?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, I'm going to give you this magic invisible die. I'm going to put it right through the camera. If you could take that die and throw it so it lands right here on the table. Okay, did you do that? Can you see it on the table? And what number did it come up with?
2.
What was it? 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I give this to you again? Because people are going to think that we're playing with a loaded die. So go ahead, take that die back, Hunter, and I'd like you to throw it again so it lands here on the table. Can you do that? Okay, and then tell me what did it come up? What number came up?
3.
3. Okay, so we know it's not a loaded die. Do you want to roll it again, or do you want to use one of those 2 numbers, 2 or 3?
3.
Okay, you want to use number 3. All right. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you selected card number 3. So let me place this here. But, you had a choice of 6 different, you had a free choice, right? I didn't influence you in any way. But in fact, before the performance, I made a prediction, and I predicted that you would select the 10 of diamonds.
Good one.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that appreciation. But some people will say, well, that's not quite so hard because it's a 1 out of 6 chance. This may be the luckiest night of my life. And so let's do it a similar kind of trick, but with a much larger deck. And you know that every deck has every card has a unique name. The 10 of clubs, the ace of spades, but I've written a unique name on the back of every one of these cards. So on the back of the 9 of diamonds, I've got the name Aaron. On the back of the ace of clubs, I've got Tina. I've got Rose, Leah, Kate. You get the idea. You see where I'm going. Hunter, are you still unmuted? Can I ask you to help me out again?
Yep.
Okay, Hunter, I'm going to call out these girls' names, and when you hear one that you like, not a girl that you like, but a name that you like, if you would go ahead and just yell it out. Okay, Lois, Rita, Edna, Jean, Ruth, Tess, Hunter.
Ruth.
It's only an hour show.
Ruth.
Mona, Ruth. Oh, did you say Ruth? Okay, sorry. All right, so there we are, Ruth. Okay, but we also have a unique name, as I said, on the other side of the card. So we've got a 5 of clubs. We've got a joker, an 8 of diamonds. Hunter, can you give me another one? Jack of clubs.
Joker.
Jack of clubs.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're selecting the Jack of clubs and the name Ruth. Well, I have a prediction that's been here in sight the entire time. And if you look through the camera, you can see that I only have 2 cards in there. And I've got the card Lucy and the 4 of spades. Thank you very much.
Oh.
What? You don't think that was good? Well, but Hunter, you picked the jack of spades, and that card says Lucy, and you picked Ruth, and that card is the four of spades.
All right.
So thank you very much. Everybody give Hunter a big round of applause. Thank you, Hunter. Now we'll go to two magicians. We'll see Harold Wood again, and he'll be followed by Penn Russell, who is another one of the magicians that started at the amazing Mr. A's Magic Place. Harold, take it away.
Hello, Harold Wood again. Want to share another story of my trip in colonial Williamsburg. Saw a guy selling these little bags and said, "How much is the bag, Dad?" He said, "That's the capital of Iraq. This is a poke. A poke is what a gentleman would wear on their belt to keep their money safe." He said, "The bag reminded me of a story of the pigs." You see, a farmer would go to town to buy a pig, and they would put the pig in a little bag like this called a poke, and they would bring it home. Now, sometimes an unscrupulous farmer would cheat you by substituting a kitten. You didn't know that you'd been swindled till you got home. That's when you let the cat out of the bag. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, because this is a poke and it's well known for a pig in a poke, you wouldn't be surprised to see that I have pigs in my poke. As a matter of fact, I have 3 pigs in my poke. 3 acting pigs. And I shall now perform for you the story, This Little Piggy. This Little Piggy by Harold Wood. This little piggy went to the market. Do you know where he went? He went to the market. This little piggy went to the market too. And this little piggy stayed home. That's not fair. All 3 piggies should get to go to the market. Let's do the second verse. Second verse, same as the first. This little piggy had roast beef. It was on special. This little piggy had roast beef too. And this little piggy had none. Wait, that's not fair. All 3 piggies should get to have roast beef. Now, if you're paying attention, like me, you might know that some people do this story with not 1, 2, or 3, but with 4 pigs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'll put this away. Let's do the story now. If you remember the words, you can say them along with me. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. He really goes home. This little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none. And the last little piggy goes, wee, 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 all the way home. And he really does go home too, because if you tap on the chimney, he pops out. He's a porkin' poppin' pig. Thank you.
Well, they come to life. Oh, it's okay. It happens to everybody. You have tea with them, you talk to them, they talk to you. They're so much more than plastic figures with lifelike hair. And you boys If you play with Lego men or action figures or even little green army men, well, you know the drill. They're not just plastic. They fight battles and win wars. But then, children, this thing happens. Clearly not my rule. You grow up. And when you grow up, most of your toys you'll give away. I know it's horrifying, but there'll be one or two that you'll keep. You're not ever going to play with them again, but they're special. So they end up in a box or a drawer or grandma's attic. Well, in this box is a very old toy. About 170 years ago, some child wanted a doll. Now, in Virginia, I don't know, maybe they couldn't afford a doll, or maybe they didn't live near a town. But we have a lot of straw, and every little girl, and most of you boys too, would know how to make a straw doll. Now, compared to your toys, it's a stick guy. But to the kid that got it 170 years ago, it was a pirate or a princess, maybe a knight, a king, a ballerina upon a stage. But just like you're going to do, that child grew up, and that doll was laid to rest in some dusty attic loft. But toys don't die. Toys only sleep. That doll's waiting. It's waiting for a child to come and play with it and bring it back to life and make it dance and sing and live again, just like it did 170 years ago. Happy Halloween, my friends, and happy magic.
Thank you very much. That really gets us in the mood for Halloween. And to continue the mood, we have our newest member of the Society of American Magicians, Jackie. Jackie Unitas.
Hi there. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for not remembering my name. Anyway, happy Halloween, everybody. And I hope you're having a good time. I was wondering if any of you ever thought for just a second that you had extrasensory perception. Or I wonder if you've ever wondered what it would be like to know something that was going to happen before it did. Or I wonder if you ever had an incident, some small incident that made you think that something supernatural was going on. Well, tonight, I'm going to show you what I mean. I want you to really imagine what we're doing what you're doing when I describe this following situation to you. I want you to really get into it, because tonight we're going to have supernatural powers. So you walk into a coffee shop. It's your favorite coffee shop. It's really busy in there, and you got your mask on, your social distancing, and you're standing in line, and you reach into your pocket and you pull out your change, and you want to get a pumpkin spice latte. So you're counting your change in your hand, and just as you're counting your change, you see something shiny on the floor, and you say, "What's that up there in the floor?" And you look again, it's a nickel. And just as you see that nickel, you realize that you're a nickel short for your pumpkin spice latte. And you go, "Wow, that's like magic." I mean, it's even weird. I'm a nickel short for my pumpkin spice latte, and there's a nickel right on the floor. So right away, you put your foot on top of the nickel and you look around to see if anybody saw you do it, but nobody saw you. So then you start thinking about it and you say, well, that nickel is probably there on the floor because it missed the tip jar. Somebody probably tried to throw it in the tip jar and they missed. And I guess I'd be a real cheapskate if I picked up that nickel, basically stole it from the tip jar. So you think about it for a second and then you say to yourself, well, I think I'm going to do a little thought experiment. If I can guess the date on that nickel, if I can guess the date, then I get to keep it. So you start listening for clues in the coffee shop there. The universe is going to give you some clues. The next thing you hear, the cashier says, $1.99. And you go, $1.99. Oh, I'm going to guess a number between 1 and 99. So I want you all to do that right now. Pick a number between 1 and 99. You got that? Okay. So then you're thinking, what other clues am I going to get here? And next thing you know, the guy in front of you goes up to the cashier and he says, I would like 5 of those Halloween cookies, the ones with the orange icing on it and the little black cats on them. And she says, okay. And so you say 5. Okay. Everybody multiply your number by 5. So you got that? Everybody do that? Take your first thing we got to do before we do that, we're going to make it a little bit more random. So the number you pick between 1 and 99, if it's 2 digits, add the 2 digits together. That's going to make it even more random than just picking a number between 1 and 99. So please add the 2 digits together. You got that? Okay. So now we're going to multiply everything by 5 because we heard 5 from the guy ordering the cookies. So please multiply your number now, your single digit number, by 5. Okay, you got that? Okay. So the waitress asks the guy, now what would you like to drink? And he said, I would like a double espresso. And you go, oh, wow, a double espresso. That's the next clue. So now you're going to multiply your number by 2. So everybody do that now. Multiply your number by 2. Okay, now we're getting close to the counter. And we're going to have to decide what we're going to do with that nickel. We're going to have to figure out our date because it's almost time to make a decision. But just as we're thinking that, the guy in front of you says to the cashier, I only want 3 cookies. I'm changing my order. Don't give me 5. I just want 3. So you go, oh, wow, there's one more clue, our final clue before we got to pick the date. So everybody now subtract 2 from your number. Whatever number you have now, subtract 2. Everybody got that now? Okay, great. So you picked a number at random between 1 and 99, and then you made a bunch of changes to it. I have no idea what number you picked. But now, to make things a little bit more at random, if you have 2 digits, you're going to look at your 2 digits, and you're going to look at them very carefully. And one of them will be higher than the other. So what you're going to do is eliminate the smallest digit and just keep the highest digit number. So go ahead and do that now. Keep the highest digit of the 2. Carefully look at them. Now throw the little one away and keep the highest one. So now you've got your date that's going to be on the nickel. So all you have to do now is add 2,000 to it. And that's your date. So now that you have your date, you slowly lift up your toe and reach down and grab your nickel. And you pull the nickel up and you look at the date on it. And lo and behold, the date on your nickel matches the date that you imagined. Now that's not really that amazing, isn't it? Because this is all in your imagination. But what really would be amazing is if you could prove to me that you picked the right date. So now you're going to hand the nickel to me. And I'm going to take that nickel and I'm going to hold it up to the light and see the date that's on it. And the date that's on the nickel is 2008. You did it, didn't you? You have supernatural powers. Happy Halloween.
Thank you very much, Jackie. That was kind of spooky. I got 2008. Did everybody who got 2008 raise your hands? Let's see some.
Two thumbs up.
Give her a little bit of applause there. Fantastic. Now we have a magician who's been in the club for about 8 years, and I present to you, Dr. Ron.
Thanks, Steve.
And Ron, you've been doing this for just 8 years. Do you have a specialty?
It's amazing that you asked that, but I do. My specialty is spell casting.
Spell casting.
Yes, casting.
It's not humor. We hope it's magic. Take it away, Ron.
Hey, happy Halloween to everybody coming up. I happened to see Captain America out there. It was good to see him. Special shout out to my grandchildren who are on the Zoom, Orally holding Grant, Hoyt, and Ren. I think Ren helped with a trick before. Anyway, to dream of anything magical really presents us with pleasant surprises. And I had a dream the other night that was unusual for me in the fact that it was in color, but it was also dreaming about numbers. And the numbers made a prediction for me, and I wanted to do that with you tonight. So I made up the numbers that I was dreaming about, and basically they're 1 through 16 in a grid here. And what we're going to try to do is see if they can help me develop my prediction. And to do that, I have some special magic markers here, but these are real special. This red marker happens to be the blood of Dracula. And I tell you, I had spared no expense for this, all right? I have a green one, which came from the Green Goblin, okay? I tell you, again, I was very busy between now and this morning after my dream. I have a purple one, the purple one. Can you guess who this is from? This is from the Purple People Eater. Oh, I'm glad somebody liked that, okay? And this blue one actually is from the blue blood that I ran over today on the way here. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jenny. I'll be here all week. Anyway, so what I need is, can you unmute somebody for me? Somebody raise a hand to help me out here. Anna. Yep. Anna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good. What color would you like? Would you like the blood of Dracula? Would you like the Green Goblin, the Purple People Eater, or the blue blood?
The blue blood.
All right. We're going to take the blue blood, and we're going to run the blue blood through one of these 4 rows. This is the first row, the second row, the third row, the fourth row. Which one would you like?
The 9, 10, 11, 12 one.
Okay, we're going to take blue and we're going to run it through there. We'll put the blue back. Okay. Now, what color would you like now? We got purple. We got red.
Purple.
Purple. Okay. This is from the Purple People Eater. You remember that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Your mommy and daddy can tell you about the Purple People Eater. Now, we have this one. That's 1, 2, or 4. Which one would you like the purple to go through?
4.
4. Okay. Purple through here. All right. We have red and we have green. Which would you like next?
Green.
Green, the green goblin.
Thanks.
And we have row 1 and 2 left. Which would you like the green to go through, 1 or 2?
5, 6, 7, 8.
I got it. Row 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. That leaves us only with red, the blood of Dracula. So we'll make the blood of Dracula go through the first row. We're halfway there. The interesting thing about this is that you would have at least 48 different choices in which to put those colors through the columns.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot. Wait till you see what we're going to do next. We need to get some colors going down this way now. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our columns. What color would you like next?
3, 7.
Okay, I got the row. And what color do you want? Red, blue,
Purple.
Purple, the purple people eater. I happen to have that one in my hand handy. So we're going to run purple down this. Okay. What color do you want next?
Blue.
Blue. Well, you seem to like your blue bloods. And we have 1, 2, and 4 to go down.
2.
2. We're going to go down with 2. Okay. Very good. And we have a green and a red. What would you like as a color next?
Green.
Green. We got the green goblin coming up. And we got row or column 1 and 4.
I want 4.
4. We got green going down there. And that leaves us with red to go down the first row.
My least favorite color is red.
Okay, that's a vampire red. So how are we going to determine what exactly my prediction is? And you'll notice that certain numbers will have the same color going through them. For example, the red has the number 1 going through it. The number, okay, where's the blue here? Blue has a 10 going through it. That's all blue. And the next is we're going to get green. And the green going through it, don't tell me now, is the 8. And if I have this right, the purple will be 15. How good are you at adding? Can you do addition?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is 1 plus 10?
15.
Well, we're close. It's actually 11, but we do have 15
Oh, yeah.
circled.
I
Okay.
get mixed up at my numbers.
That's okay, sweetheart. I 4 out of 3 people have trouble with math.
But I'm normally great at math.
Okay, well, let's take the 1 and the 10. That's 11, and we're going to add it to 15. So we have 11 plus 15.
26.
26, very good. And 26 plus 8.
34.
Wow, you are great at addition. And you know what's absolutely magical about that? Is
What?
that's the exact prediction number that I said that you would make. Number 34.
Whoa. Cool. Awesome.
And she was terrific. Let me just get set up here because I'm going to do something that you're not supposed to do in magic, and that is give away a secret. And the secret I'm going to give away is everybody thinks that, cards are done by sleight of hand. But literally what you don't know, and here's the secret, cards are actually sent to somebody out in Las Vegas. And one of the people they send them to is a guy by the name of Shin Lim, okay? And what he does is he trains the cards to do the magic for you so that you don't have to do any fancy sleight of hand. And what I'd like to do is sort of show you what I mean, and I'll give them a shuffle here. And I'll set these into the deck, but I need to make sure, yeah, they're all different, okay? So anyway, we'll put them into this glass. And here we go, okay? Oh, no. Wait, we were gonna call the aces. This is called calling the aces. This is what they were trained to do. And I need to put a red card in front. And can I get another helper out there? Raise a hand for me, please. Okay, we have an hour show. Raise a hand, anybody? Sarah. Sarah, terrific. Welcome. Do you know your cards and what aces are?
Do you know what aces are, Sarah?
No.
No. Okay. Then we need somebody who knows what the aces are. And if you could raise your hand. Maybe Scott. Becca. Becca is good.
Hi.
Is that Orly the Great?
Yes, it is.
Do you like red aces or black aces?
Red aces.
Red aces. Okay, we'll do those first. And do you have a favorite ace, the ace of diamonds or the ace of hearts?
Ace of diamonds.
Ace of diamonds. Okay. I want to show you how well trained these cards are. As we put, they're somewhat shy, so I need to put the cloth over. And if you'll notice, we now have the ace of diamonds. Somebody's impressed here. Thank the Lord. Okay, nothing like a live audience. Okay, so what that does is that leaves us, once I get this back in here, that leaves us with the other red ace. Is that right, Orly?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. So we'll put the cloth over the shy ones and we lift it up and we have the ace of hearts.
Wow, yay!
So I'll put this back where it belongs. And, oh, so we have to call the black aces now. So I need to get a black card in front. And we'll put the 9 of spades. Now, Orly, we haven't, the black aces are the ace of clubs and the ace of spades. Do you have a favorite there?
Ace of clubs.
Ace of clubs. All right, so what we're going to do is put this over the glass and lift that up like so. And we happen to have the ace of clubs. We'll take the ace of clubs and we'll put that back in the middle of the deck. And Orly, what does that leave us with, please?
The ace of spades.
The ace of spades. Now, the first 3 were pretty terrific, right? If I could pull this off and Shin Lim really trained these decks, I would be able to lift this and have the ace of spades. Have a happy Halloween. Remember, stay safe and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hands up for Dr. Ron. Now, as we come down to the end of our show, we have one more act for you, and that's a real classic of magic. That is probably the 3rd oldest magic trick in the world, the Chinese linking rings. And to perform that, we have Mike Heckenberger, who's the president of our club and Regional Vice President of the Society of American Magicians. So Mike, please take it away.
And I'm Mike Heckenberger, doing one of the classics of magic, the Chinese linking rings. It uses 6 rings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 can be a rather intimidating number, especially for somebody with a mind like mine. So I'm going to do just 2 to start off with. 2 solid rings. If you rub them in a magical fashion, create the illusion, and I stress illusion of linking, because we all know that's impossible. To separate the rings, we just rub them again, and they just seem to melt apart. Now, when I learned this trick as a teenager, I had to learn the brute force method. It's kind of like banging your head against a wall, something like this. So you bang it, but then it would work. It kind of surprised me myself. I would show this to my friends, and they'd say, "Mike, there's a hole in the ring." I go, "Of course there's a hole in the ring. It's 10 inches wide. How can you miss it?" Let's start over again. We have 1, 2, 3 rings. I know that was a little fast, so we'll go a little slower this time. Okay. Kind of Mickey Mouse if you think about it that way. Again, to separate them, just let them melt apart. Take these 3. What links on easily, links off easily. We're going to do it this way. At this point, you can start making some pretty nice little designs. Or a simple chain. Let's try 5. And finally, 6 linked rings. And that is the linking rings. Thank you very much.
Round of applause.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you all coming to our performance tonight, and please give yourselves a big round of applause, because without you, there'd be no show whatsoever. On behalf of our performers in the Williamsburg House of Mercy, we hope that you have a spooky, fun, safe Halloween. And if you've not done so, click on the link down in the chat and make a donation to the Williamsburg House of Mercy. We hope you've enjoyed our version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out and shouting boo. We couldn't soap your windows or TP all of your lawns, so this was the next best thing. Happy Halloween and good night.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you.